reset. 5 minutes. Okay, hey folks, how you doing? I wanted to start doing game pickup videos. Now, I'll admit, I don't pick up games that often, but, you know, when I do, I wanted to share them with you. Because obviously here in Japan, prices are generally a lot cheaper than you will be paying in the West. But on my salary, I can't go shopping that often. But every now and then, maybe every 2 or 3 months, I want to put together a 5-minute video all about my recent pickups. So, let's go. First of all, I want to mention this Game Boy Color. Now, I have recently modified a Game Boy Pocket, a Game Boy Advance, both with backlit screens and new shells, and basically taking very cheap but, you know, pretty rubbish condition Game Boys and giving them a completely new life, as it were. And that's what I did with this one. New mint green shell with nice little lilac coloured buttons, pink accents, white accents, and yes, this one isn't backlit, but I just wanted to, you know, have a non-backlit Game Boy in the collection, and I think it's turned out really nicely, to be honest with you. This Game Boy Color isn't what I wanted to talk about necessarily in this video, but for taking basically a 1500 yen crappy condition Game Boy Color into great condition, I think it was worth it. On with the games. First of all, I picked up Rockman World 3. Now, I've been enjoying the Rockman World games for the Game Boy here in Japan. I've recently played through 4 and I'm almost through with number 5, so I wanted to go on to number 3. And for 700 yen, I felt that that was a really good deal. So, yeah, meant to be very difficult, but looking forward to a good challenge, and I always love myself a bit of MegaMan. So, yeah, a good little pickup, I think. The next one was a bit of a punt. This one is Karamuuchou no Daijiken. I believe that's what that says, if I'm reading my kanji and so forth correctly. Basically, it means big incident in Karamu town. But this is a really cool puzzle game. Bit of a punt, there's very little about this on the internet. Late release, about 1997, but last night I played through a bit of it and I got through 25 stages. Really good little puzzles in this, and it reminds you a little bit of New Bowl. Don't get too excited, it's not the same as that game, but there are certain things that you sort of pick up along the way that help you accomplish certain preordained actions, which I find quite cool. So looking forward to exploring this one a bit more and may go into a bit more detail, but 900 yen, I think this is a bit of a gem. Next up is Puzzle Boy, otherwise known as Kwirk in the West. Ostensibly seems like a soccer band game, but with a few quirks about it. See what I did there? But yes, a very early puzzler, and yeah, 429 yen. So I think that was a really good pickup, because this is meant to be really good, and I do like puzzle games. I mean, when I was in Tokyo waiting to get, well, not waiting to get the plane, but before I caught the flight at Narita, I was waiting for my ticket number to be called up in Sushiro, a kaiten sushi place. And basically, it was a long wait, and I was able just to crack out the Game Boy, and in that instance, I was just playing some Tetris, but that's what the Game Boy's for. You know, 5-10 minutes here and there, just have a bit of fun. So, I think that was a pretty awesome pickup. Next up is Mario Pickross. Not difficult to find in Japan, 429 yen again, but for some reason the local stores, I've not been able to track down a copy until now, so looking forward to getting into this. This one retails amazingly for about 20 quid in the UK, I noticed from CEX, which seems a bit mad, but it's really good, so looking forward to getting into this one as well. A little bit of an oddity, this one. This one is Soreyuke Kiddo, Go-Go Kid. This is from Kemco, and they had a habit of reskinning their games into multiple forms over multiple regions, so this became Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 3. I picked this up not because it's an amazing game, but because it's just a bit of an oddity. So yeah, I've played a bit of it, and do you know what? I don't think it's that bad. Again, for 10 minutes here and there, with its password system, it's okay. You know, it taxes the brain for a little bit. Yes, it's not the best game in the world, but unlike the previous Crazy Castle games, this one seems to play pretty fluidly, so I don't think this is too bad. And again, 429 yen. 5 minutes. Okay, almost there. Next up is Hook, and last up for that matter is Hook for the Super Famicom, or Super Nintendo as you may know it. 869 yen. Now usually movie licensed games tend to be a bit crappy or mediocre, but this one's actually apparently quite a good one. Not the most difficult game from what I've read and what I've watched, but this is like an antecedent, a predecessor to Skyblazer, which is a crazy expensive game these days, both in the West and in Japan. And so, given that this is a predecessor to it, although a little bit slower playing, this is apparently a rather good action platformer that I'm looking forward to getting into. And even if it is a bit easy, sometimes I don't have 2-3 hours to play on my Super Famicom. Sometimes half an hour, 45 minutes is all I've got. So this is meant to be quite good. This will fit the bill quite nicely. So I think this is a pretty good pickup. Anyway, well, that was 6 minutes. I don't think that was bad going. So yeah, so in total I paid around about 3,600 yen. That's the equivalent of about 26 US dollars or about 23 British pounds at the moment. So not bad value, I think you'll agree, for how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in total. So yeah, I think that was pretty awesome. So all these games were picked up from the Iwate Prefecture area, and yeah, the prices probably reflect that. But yeah, I look forward to sharing maybe some thoughts on some of these games in a little bit more detail, like Karamuuchou, Daijiken, for example, because I think that's a little bit unknown. And yeah, look forward to sharing future pickups with you. If you have any comments on the games that I've picked up, or on the format of this video, or suggestions for future pickups, or any comments at all, throw them down below because I'd love to read them and hear back from you. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I guess that all remains for me to say is see you soon. Peace! I think that worked out alright, huh? Yeah.